Okay, this video is about swinging axe. Now, I talked about swinging axe in my previous videos, but it dealt with a series of alarms, which I only had like maybe 8 alarms that Game Maker Studios will allow me to have, and the axe didn't swing really that smooth. And now I found a way to making it swing smooth. And I've talked about this in my other previous video about the rotating blocks and the ball that bounces on the blocks, kind of like the Sega game called Sonic. When you went to the bonus round, you had the rotating square and you moved around in the square. So it's kind of like that. So I applied it now to the swinging axe, and now they move smoothly in the game. I have one in the back, that's why one's kind of dark, and the one in the back is the depths at 5 or something, and then I changed the coloring of it too, and I'll show you how to do that too real easily, because I only used one axe but duplicated it twice, because one axe is going one direction and the other axe is going the opposite direction. Or actually they're both going, they are going in different directions, and one's going a little bit faster. The one in front is going a little faster than the one in the back. Okay, so let me show you, and you also get hit too. Okay, so same thing that I talked about in my previous video. In your axe, make sure that for one thing you have the crosshairs at the top, because that's where it's going to swing from at. If I had the crosshairs in this location right here, then it would swing in this location, and then the axe wouldn't look right when it swings back and forth. But it's going to pivot from the top here when it rotates. So the crosshair is at X53, Y is at 0. Press OK. In the crate, grab a coded sheet from the code tab, control tab, and this is what it's going to say. Angle equals 180 plus 60. Image underscore angle equals angle. So we're just using one image. Sorry about that. Cleary wants to do this sometimes, pop up. Alright, so basically, okay, you got one image and it's going to rotate pretty much like a 360. I'm not sure why it says 180 plus 60, but it does do like a 360 rotation because it goes all the way around. But that's what the code stated. So you don't change this code, just leave it at 180 plus 60. Then in the step event, another code, and basically this what states is if mouse underscore checks underscore button underscore release comma MB underscore none parentheses angle minus equals 4. So what this means is that the computer is going to take over and it's going to move at the speed of 4, going counterclockwise. If you change this minus to plus, which is in the other axe, then it's going to go clockwise. So it's going to go the opposite direction. If you didn't want the computer to take over, then you would just grade that out, and you would use this if statement here. Says that if you hold down or press the left key on the keyboard, then the axe will start spinning. But I don't want to use the keyboard, I want to use the computer to rotate the axe, so I'm going to keep this code available. And this second statement is about the mouse press. Anything on the mouse, whether it's the left press, the right press, or the middle press, it's going to rotate the axe. But I don't want that one to be available either, so I grayed that out. So image underscore angle equals angle, so it's basically stating that it's going to rotate from what the code says, it's going to rotate 180 degrees, but the way I see it, it's rotating 360 degrees. And I use this mouse event because I actually got this code from GameMaker 8.1, and GameMaker 8.1 did not have the mouse check button release in there. It had some other code, but it didn't work for Studios, so I took that code out and replaced it with mouse check button release, and just played around with it and seemed like it worked fine. And you know, the computer takes over and does the spin for me, which is what I wanted. So this mouse event works. The other code didn't work for GameMaker Studios. It works fine for GameMaker 8.1, but it didn't work for Studios. Okay, if you want the spin for the axe to go faster, you would just change this 4 to like 6, 7, or whatever. Go slower, change the number to a lower number than 4, or 4 itself, whatever you want to do. Alright, so this axe is the depth's at 0. Alright, so that's going to be the front axe spinning counterclockwise, looks like. And this block doesn't really do anything. This, you could probably take this block thing out. It doesn't do anything, not for this one anyways. For the other video that I did with the axe, the block had something to do with it. Okay, so yeah, I don't need this block in there. So object angle 2, let me take this out. It's the same thing, but yeah, the same code for the create. Angle equals 180 plus 60. Like I said, if you change these numbers, it doesn't seem to do anything. I changed it to 160. It didn't do anything. Just leave this code at 180 plus 60. Image underscore angle equals angle. And then the step event, I have it at plus. Now it's going to go the opposite direction at a slower speed at 3. And in this one, the depth's at 3, so it's pushed back. The first axe is at 0 depth, so it's going to be pushed forward. This one's going to be pushed back at depth of 3, and then origin's 53, y is 0. Crosshairs at the top, that's where I want it to swing at. And I have modified mask on both of them to only this location right here. Manual. Precise, only in this location. So if he goes up, if he jumps up here, then he will bypass getting hit. And one other thing to talk about. Clicked on the back axe that has a depth 3. I changed the color, and you can do that very easily in GameMaker without having to import a new image in. This will save you a lot of time and space on your game. Just click on it, go to this color text, click on here, and then change your color. I changed mine to gray. You can change it any color you want. See how it changes the color? So I'll go back to making it, and if you want it back to this color right here, just make it white, and it goes back to the original color. But I want it gray because it's in the back, and you know, things in the distance are going to be darker, so that's why it's shaded gray, because it's in the back. Show depth. And like I said, save space and time. You don't have to create a new axe and color it a different color in a different program and import it into GameMaker. Take time and space. You can do it real easily by changing here. Also, if you wanted to, you could change the alpha alpha to like maybe 100. Make the alpha a lot so it's more transparent. You can also change the rotation. But I don't want it to do that. Just make it 0 again. And the scaling, you can scale it out too, see? You can also use your mouse to drag it out. That's one thing that GameMaker 8.1 doesn't have. You can't scale it, but with your mouse you can scale it out if you wanted to, or use the X and Y scaling coordinates by just typing in a number. You gotta keep it at 1. You gotta keep it at least 1. And that's pretty much it. That's how you do it. So there's some shortcuts there, and how to do the rotation on the axe and make it real smooth in your game. And I'll show you one other thing. I'll just change the crosshairs real quick to show you what I was talking about. So if I change the crosshairs to right here, 55, you can paste it here. Just show you what happens. See, it's all wonky looking. So just like I said, just put the crosshairs at the top so it rotates better. And it looks like since I duplicated, because I duplicated this axe, so it looks like it copied the crosshairs. You gotta watch it when you do duplication here, because one thing, if you change your sprint to something else, I didn't do it there for some reason. I don't know, sometimes when you duplicate your images and you change the sprint, then it changes both of them. And when that happens, you really have to make a new sprint image. So you have to go to your sprints and duplicate it here and name it a different sprint and then change it here. So that way it doesn't mess up your other image, but I'll talk about that in another video. Alright, so that's pretty much it. And I'll upload it to YouTube, and you can download this game and play around with the code and all that stuff. Make your own game. Thanks for watching.